Okay, so here we are with
Here
Dorothy
we
Tyo.
are.
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm very nice too.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank
yeah,
you for this opportunity for speak for many people who's gonna watch this in another time because
absolutely.
we are here in the School of Palo Alto Hypnotherapy with the director and owner Dorothy Tyo. And we're going to talk about few things. The first of all, we both are finishing classes in this period of time, November 2025.
25. Can you believe it?
Oh my God.
Thank God.
Time goes super fast. So what would you like to say to the students and the Spanish students?
I would like to say congratulations. I know that you have spent a lot of time learning, training, practicing, and it will all be worth it because so many people now need really good hypnotherapists. And of course, you've had an excellent instructor. And I think for you, the more you learn, the more you practice, the better you become. And I'm so happy that you have taken the opportunity to learn some things that most people are afraid to learn, but not you. So, congratulations. And I hope that you will continue to learn and professionalize even more throughout your life.
That's very nice. And yes, I remember as a student in the 101, I have so many questions and also my own feelings like, okay, I'm going to be hypnotherapist. And I saw the 101, Dorothy, and I have a bunch of questions. But one of the things for sure that I felt, and this is what is being repeating in the courses, I don't know, in English class, is like how I'm going to do this without fear.
Yes,
And people is been asking you this and
yes,
in my classes, and what do you answer for that? When you have all the theoretic part, you know what you've been learned, but at the moment that you are with a real client, what happened and how we can fix this.
let me share what I
Okay.
tell my students in the 101 class because most students have that issue.
Mm-hmm.
So let me say this. Let me say this about that. When I first took the course, okay, many years ago, and when I first took the course, we didn't have a manual. All we had was the textbook. And I was not sure of myself. I had taken the course, I had been certified, but I didn't trust myself. And so at that time, I I had copied every single induction in the
Mm-hmm.
book, put it on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, 3-ring binder, put plastic wrap around each one, not plastic wrap, but it's plastic
Yes.
sleeves,
Mm-hmm.
and so that when you turn the page, the client can't hear you.
I know, I know.
And so what I did, I had a 3-ring binder at my feet with every client. And after I said to the client, and now just sit back and close your eyes and begin to relax. And just think about relaxing every muscle in your body. With that, I would reach down, pick up the 3-ring binder, and find the induction I wanted to
Oh my God.
use. And I did that probably for the first 2 or 3 months.
And
But let me say this. At around the third month, I began to realize that I had reached down, I had picked up the 3-ring binder, I had opened it to the page, but I never looked down
hmm,
because I had done it enough, I had confidence, and I didn't need to rely on someone else's words. By this time, I had developed my own.
mm-hmm.
And so, absolutely, there are times in the beginning that you're not sure of yourself. don't be afraid to tell your client that you're going to read this.
Exactly,
Yeah.
especially maybe the happy place or the special
Yes,
place,
exactly.
which I found that the students might feel a little bit how to describe the special place for the client. And that's okay to tell them that you're going to read it because it's very important for you to make sure he's or she is following the images.
That's exactly right.
But now we have a technology. What about iPad? Nobody
That's
make a sound,
exactly right.
We have an iPad, we have a laptop. Nobody knows that you're going to be reading.
Not only that, their eyes are closed. They don't see what you're doing.
Exactly.
So don't be afraid to read something. Just make sure that you're speaking it as though you're having a conversation, not reading. Yeah.
Okay. In your own words, at this point, with so many experience, many years of experience,
many
many years. So we don't want to reveal how many,
No,
but
we don't.
many. In your own words, at this point in 2025, what is a hypnotherapy for you? How you can describe what is a hypnotherapy and maybe what's a hypnotherapy and what is hypnosis?
That's a very good question. First of all, I always say hypnotherapy is simply using hypnosis as a therapeutic intervention to help someone make changes in their lives and I don't know that I've even said this to you, but I now am saying to people, what hypnosis really is helping people do is change their perception. Change their perception of themselves, change their perception of a disease they may have just been diagnosed with. But what our perception, my perception of myself when I was much younger was not what my perception of myself is today. Or my perception of how I do something is very different today than it was a month ago, perhaps. And so hypnosis and hypnotherapy is a process by which we're helping a client relax and, in essence, helping them get to what they're holding in their subconscious, what their old behavior patterns, their old beliefs, their old self-talk that has self-talk is like self-hypnosis. And most self-talk, unfortunately, is negative.
Exactly.
And so we're helping people through hypnosis. And let me say this, hypnosis is just a word. It's a word that we utilize today. But what does it really mean? It means being consciously aware of what you want to have happen for you. Coming to a conclusion about our intention, about what we want to have happen for us. And hypnosis is the very thing that can help people, you, me, Isabel, can help us get to a place where we're understanding things differently. That we understand that our brain is functioning in certain ways when we're in a state of emotion.
Yes.
And does that answer your question? Or
no, yes, you're doing great. So in fact, this is what I've been teaching in my classes, that when we are listening to clients' problem, we're not acting as a psychology or psychotherapy in order to evaluate what is this problem coming from. Yes, we ask questions about how was your childhood and things like that because we want to see the emotion part.
That's right.
This is what we do in the previous session when we are going to do the first actual induction.
That's right.
But when we listen, it's about how they talk about themselves and about the problems, how they perceive it and how they put it into words. And that's what we catch, like a fishing, I always writing, I cannot lose weight because my hormones, okay? That's a reality, but that's the way they perceive. What about if you can say something in your mind like, I am able to lose weight.
Yes.
and my body can heal, or my
That's
body
right.
can rebalance.
That's right.
When you talk about like that, how do you feel right now? And then you can see their faces, how they like, I never thinking that way, or maybe I never thought about that.
That's exactly right.
Exactly. So that's when the actually hypnotherapy start, before we put into their hypnosis, change the perception, and then we going to apply exact the suggestions as we've been learned. You're gonna choose if it's like direct suggestion, indirect, or maybe post-hypnotic. And then you have the whole inductions in your head as the way you learn how to apply. And the clients, when they open their eyes, they have like a seed.
That's right.
In the image, in the way they feel, and the brain respond. Because now we can see so many technology. What happened inside the brain when they change their perception?
That's right. Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing about hypnosis, and again, it's just a word. What we know is that what we're thinking produces a physiological response. In other words, if you think of someone you love dearly, you're going to feel that love inside your heart.
Yes.
If you think about peeling a lemon, breaking it into segments, and then putting 2 or 3 segments in your mouth and chewing them,
And then
and most people, and we begin to salivate.
Yes.
Now we have no lemon.
Yeah.
And we're just thinking about it, and yet we have a memory, and the brain causes our salivary glands to function.
Exactly.
And that's what we're doing with hypnosis. We know that that's true. And so therefore, in a hypnotic state, we're offering positive suggestions that will shift a person's old thought processes, which might be negative, to something that's positive, and the whole body responds. We know that that's true, especially today with all of the information and technology we have. We can literally see what's happening inside the body.
Exactly. So this, I will add something very important. Imagine what happened with somebody who has a very bad memory in the past, like, oh, I remember this happened to me, and they feel so like, negative emotion, like sadness or anger. And when they switch the emotion, they will still remember what's going on, what happened in the past, but they don't have the same emotion.
That's exactly right.
And that we call healing, which is a normal word that we use, because we don't avoid memory, we don't erase memory, because that's impossible. But we change the perception, and when you change the perception, the feeling is different.
You change the reaction or the response.
reaction, exactly.
That's right.
And because we release chemicals in our brain related with the memory, so the body is changed as well.
Absolutely.
This is what we've been teaching. Okay, so hypnotherapy is making a huge revolution now with the technology,
absolutely.
with the studies, with everything. Now we are collaborating with the UCSD San Diego. We're teaching hypnotherapy fundamentals with them. So I remember, Dorothy, that Yossi and you were talking long time ago too, inside here, the school. And I remember Josie say, you don't have any idea where are we going into the future with what you learn here, but soon we're going to link with science.
Yes.
I felt that prophecy back in that time.
I know, yes.
But I saw it, because I saw the material that you have. I saw the way you both were teaching, and I say, that's for sure. That I don't know how, but that might happen, and here we are.
Here we are.
What do you think about it?
Oh, back in those days, when Josie and I put together the medical hypnotherapy course, and we were getting all of this information that we didn't have yet. We were learning as we were putting it together, and it was made perfect sense that this was going to, grow in ways that even we didn't understand at that time. But each of us, and let me say this to students who aren't sure of themselves yet. I wasn't sure of myself when I first started, but I knew that I wanted to do it.
Mhm.
I could see what happens with people when they begin to change how they're doing things, when they begin to change their mind. I could see what was happening. I watched people heal from catastrophic illnesses
Yes.
because they changed how they were thinking. And so the more you do this, the more experience you have. The more experience you have, the more easily you do it, because the more comfortable you are with it, the more you're utilizing your intuition as well. And you have all kinds of information in your brain that if someone said, write down everything that you know, well, that's impossible. But someone says something. For example, someone might say, oh, I know that I can't get well. Well, you hear a statement like that, and because you've done this for so long, you know that that's not true.
Mhm.
Could it be true for them? It could be. But what happens when we learn something new? It's like you were talking earlier about the person who says, oh, I didn't think about it that way.
Mhm.
And so when we're comfortable with what we're doing, and the more we practice, the more comfortable we become. We're hearing something like that, we know that that's not true, and now we can offer some ideas to a client about something that they'd never thought of. And it's as simple as, I hear you say that, and yet I have some really good information about people
Mhm.
who have had what you have had and healed from it.
Mhm.
Would you be interested in learning more about that? That's my approach. Who's going to say no?
Of course, nobody,
Yeah.
everybody wants to heal and change. And also, as a student, being as a student first, I discovered it that helps me to heal myself. And everybody knows of my students, like I always say, this is not a course for healing yourself. But yeah, we try the techniques in us in order for figure out how the clients is going to feel.
Yes.
But we discovered amazing things. I have students, they've been saying, I tried this without any purpose and it helps me to heal or to change.
Yes.
And this is exactly that now know the power of suggestions.
That's right. The beautiful part of hypnosis is, and people talk about self-hypnosis. And do I teach a course for self-hypnosis? No, I don't. Do you?
Mm-mm.
No. But when we're teaching a course, just the 101 course, what we're doing is teaching you how to work with someone else. But then when you self-apply those same suggestions, there's absolutely no question about whether it's going to affect you or not.
Yes.
It's always, if I've taught someone else how to relax, excuse me, his or her body, and walk down some steps to get to a deep trance state, if I have taught them how to do that, I'm doing it for myself at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I do have separately my group therapy where I teach
Yes.
them how to use suggestions in order when they can use as a self-hypnosis.
Yes.
But we also learn how to do it for us.
Absolutely.
And this is one of, so many students have been telling me, oh, you know what? I did an induction for me and it helps me to this and that. And it's amazing. So suggestions, it's the cherry on the top of the cake. That's what I figured it out like in the clinical class. I'm like, okay, now I get it.
Mhm.
And it took me, and when I love it from the all the curriculum from Palo Alto School of Hypnotherapy, it's every single level is full of techniques that you can use with the fundamental, which is in the 101.
That's right.
And we have recently finished the advanced class. And when you develop the inner child healing, you say there is infinity ways to see where is the child age is being want. And I asked the student, when Dorothy mentioned here there is infinity ways to figure it out where we being like stuck, mentally or emotional, I say what this means, and they were thinking and thinking, and they were saying with the induction, self-esteem induction. How come? Oh, because when we say we're going to do the induction to see the negative thoughts, and they realize there is more thoughts than when they thought.
That's right.
And then we ask questions. And where that happened? Where is this thought? Do you remember when was the first time where you listened to that negative thought? And somebody says, yeah, when I was 6 years old. My mom used to tell me, don't eat like that because you're eating like a pig. And maybe now I realize this is why I don't like to eat. And maybe I've been having anxiety for doing diets and diets. And then what happened there? You're thinking about metaphor intervention.
That's right.
Doing a healing in the memory.
Yes.
Using hypnotherapy, and then apply the metaphor intervention.
Right.
So when you go through each level, you remember what you've been learning in the past. And this is what I love it, because it's summarize. But even with the 101, I have so many students, Dorothy, they don't even continuing for any reason, because some of them are getting full booked. They say, I don't even have time to continue, but I'll do it later. And they say with the 101, just with the induction, and this is what I've been noticed, sometimes I remember I have one client, she told me at the second session, what you did, it makes me feel sleep deeper. And I say, that's great.
Yep.
And she said, can you do something like that for another purposes? I think with anxiety, for chewing her nails. And I say, do you want to work on that? Even if I think in a do it another thing. She said, yeah, because this changed my life. And I say, let's plan it for a stress reduction for the chewing nails. And then she told me, and I have something else that stresses me out. I say, what is my boss in my work? I ending in doing only like 6 sessions for a stress reduction, and it works like that too. And I explained to my students. Okay, when we finish, I have the last question. When we finish each level, we have like a time in between to practice. What do you suggest when they are in the, like, let's put in the vacation period of time? What do you suggest to do? Because we require practice.
Yes. Here's what I suggest, whether it's family or friends. See if they'll help you do your homework. Rather than saying to them, I want to practice on you because I can help you change. Never say that to a family or friend. Ask them if they'll help you do your homework. And then you come up with a process, or you can even say to them, if I have to learn how to do this, so what do you want? If you wanted to work on something, what would it be? And then you do what you do. Another thing I wanted to say is this. Isabel and I were both where you are with what you're learning, how you're learning it, the amount of time you spend practicing. The amount of time you spend practicing helps you feel more and more confident every time, because you begin to see that it isn't that, this is not rocket science.
Yeah.
And here's the other part, because both of us were where you are, and now we're teaching it. Did we do that in 20 minutes? No. Did we do it in 1 year? No. We did it after we had learned the techniques and practiced on anyone who would allow us.
Exactly. That was my coworkers in the hotel. They
Yes.
used to be my guinea pig,
Yes.
and they say, "Are you sure you can do this?" I'm like, "Let's try."
Yes. And I have, when I was first taking the course, the first 101 course, it wasn't even called a 101 course. It was just called hypnotherapy. Because there was no advanced, there was no clinical, there was no medical, there was no master's. So we were learning what we were learning. The more you address your own issues, and by that I mean, oh, this makes me nervous, well, find a way to relax yourself.
Or practice with one of your classmates, which we have a great opportunity to do it.
Great opportunity.
Yes.
Oh, and I started to say, I was in the real estate business at the time.
Mhm.
So every realtor in my office was my volunteer.
But now, Dorothy, with social media, we have such an amazing opportunity. I
Absolutely.
tell them you have an amazing open doors
The
to start
world.
your practice, the world basically.
That's right.
Just for putting something on Facebook, which is a community is built on Facebook pages.
Yes.
Where you can go,
Exactly.
you can say, I'm a hypnotherapy, that I'm open a program for volunteering. Maybe you can try that. If you already are feeling comfortable for practicing and charging, go ahead and do it. But the message is practice, practice, and practice.
Yeah. And listen, you all have email people. You have a list of people on your email database. Email everyone and say, I just became certified and I really want to practice more. And so anyone who would like to learn how to relax or learn
Also, talk about how you change your life with the course. That's it. I did it. I
Right.
emailed my friends. I listened to Dorothy while she said this, and I'm like, okay. By that time, I quit smoking, and also I get rid of my acne. Remember, I don't know if
Right.
you remember, I used to have a lot of acne here.
Mm.
I have a constipation problems, and I remember email that how happy and thrilled I am that I been discovering how to heal things and change my mind and things like that. Anyways, and I didn't offer anything. I just sharing with them my happiness.
Yes. Yes.
And
Okay.
yeah, and I had two my friends, they say, practice with me. I have the same of you, constipation, which I didn't know because we don't talk about this with my friends in that moment. And when they read my story, they say, oh, I have a constipation. I didn't know. Tell me, how do you get rid of the problem? Because I do have the same. And I told them, well, you can come to my house because I didn't have any office by that time. And we start, I remember it was summer by the pool. And then I got a neighbor says, what are you doing? Are you doing meditation? I'm like, no, I'm doing hypnotherapy. Can you do it for me?
That's exactly
And
what happens.
that's how I started losing my, insecurity, how to practice.
And you're not charging anyone.
No,
You're just
I
practicing.
yes, but they can charge because I told them, don't follow my example.
Mhm.
If you feel comfortable, you can charge, or maybe you can do an exchange.
Exchange, yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
but the thing is practice, practice, practice. And how do you see the world in the future with the science, Dorothy? Because I know you finished your master's in neuroscience.
Yes.
How do you see the world in the future with hypnotherapy are linking now, and we can actually, not we, but the science prove the brain change
Yes.
literally when you change the perception.
Well, the world is changing.
Mhm.
And people my age won't be participating in what's happening technologically and understanding some of the things that are occurring. But the younger people that are coming along, like yourselves, are learning how to understand how the brain is working, understand that what's happening in the brain has an effect on our bodies. And science is looking at it, medicine is looking at it. And I think that even in medical schools, they'll begin to address
Mhm.
how people are feeling, how people are thinking, and utilizing that in the medical community and certainly in the scientific community. It's being looked at very, very differently now than it was when I started, certainly even when you started.
And one of the things that I want to add just to finish our conversation is we are the civilization with highest technology, with everything pretty much wide open. Anything you want to study, anything you want to be, have access, we have it. But we are the most unhappy civilizations.
Yes. Right.
That cracks my mind.
Right.
And I say that's true.
Yeah.
And that makes me think about what we do. It'll still important for decades and decades and decades.
And I'm glad you said that, because I understand that consciousness is is looked upon in different ways, but the more our consciousness grows, the happier the world will be.
Yes.
And when consciousness is very low and there is no understanding, there's no empathy, there is no compassion,
Yes.
in so many instances, hypnotherapy really raises consciousness.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Tell me about it.
Oh,
I remember in the first level, in the 101, I noticed like, oh, my mom loved me. And I didn't do anything. I never. But I remember I had that feeling, and I start remembering memories where she used to cook for me, and I used to blame her like, oh, you was working only, you know how we are. And then after the 101, I just out of the blue, I erased my consciousness.
It opened your mind
and my heart.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
I healed so many things without not doing anything. But now I understand that by I was under hypnosis, stress reduction, cortisol level went down. It makes my mind to be clear. That was amazing benefit.
Do you know this last UC San Diego course I taught?
Mhm.
So I in class of around 25. Toward the end of the course, several people said, I had no idea what I was going to learn in this class. I had no idea how much self-reflection it would produce,
Wow.
and how much I learned about me.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. One of my students told me, I think yesterday, she told me, when you teach the self-esteem class, I thought that I always had a good self-esteem. And when after you teach your class, I'm like, I need that therapy for me, because it makes me realize so many things in my childhood. And I say, well, we're basically doing regression with alert state.
That's true.
This is what's going on
That's
in the
true.
class. Oh my God, there is so many things that we would love to share with you, but this is like this video is dedicated for people who finish the classes in this year and the following years. Congratulations. Please raise your practice, work on the world, because the world needs more hypnotherapy, certified hypnotherapy in a professional way.
The world needs you.
Exactly. And it's like practice, start, don't have fear. And if you do, work with your colleagues, ask for help working on this, because the world needs you. Thank you, Dorothy, so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And they're going to be happy because they always ask me, where is Dorothy? And I say, nah, she exists. Here it is. But she's so busy all the time teaching, because you're still teaching.
Oh,
right?
Oh, God,
Yeah.
yes.
And you're still doing your practice.
Oh, well, absolutely.
I'm not going to ask you how many years you have.
No, don't.
But
we don't want them to faint.
But you've been doing this for many, many years, and I've been
Let's
learning.
just say decades.
Decades, okay, décadas. We're gonna say décadas in español. But she's been my mentor, my teacher, and when I have questions, I ask her, and she always has wise answers for me. And like I told my students, I know you're going to have so many questions when you practice and you read your notes. And if you feel like you have any doubts, you can also email me too.
It's true.
And I might not answer quickly, but I will answer for sure, because your success is my success. So thank you so much. Gracias, gracias. And have a happy new year for all of you. And I hope to see you soon in 2026 or the following year, wherever you see this video. Thank you, Dorothy.
Thank you.